What's up, Yins? This week on Car Dad Bill, we have a 2024 Subaru Impreza RS. And man, oh man, love Subaru Imprezas, always have. Let's go for a ride. All right, Jens, first impressions of the Subaru Impreza, the RS. Love the interior, love the paint job, the red paint job on the outside. And the first thing I noticed driving this car around was just how smooth, quiet, and easy to drive it is. I mean, not every day do you hop in a Subaru. Sometimes they're a little bit loud, sometimes they're a little bit clunky. Subaru has its own feel and sound to it, especially. But this Subaru has been refined just a little bit more, and it feels that way. I really like it. Let's get to the review. All right, Jen, standing outside the Impreza RS, and first thing I notice is that RS logos, black wheels, and look at this front end. It's got a different front end. It doesn't have a frame around the grille anymore. It has the color comes right down to the black, and it's simple. And I like how the fog lights are pushed out to the edges. It's just a smooth, refined looking compact hatchback. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. I love the black trim, the black windows, the black wheels, LEDs up here. But then you have regular turn signals. No dual exhaust. I don't know that it needs it, but it would look cool with a dual exhaust. Just a cool shape, clean lines, kind of what you expect when you look at an Impreza. Everyone that I've showed it to and has seen me driving around has said the same thing. They thought it was a nice looking vehicle and they liked it. Let's go inside. What's up, Yins? Real quick, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. YouTube is starting to notice you guys watching all my stuff, and they're pushing it out there even farther. I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate it. This is a blast. I hope you guys are getting some information from me. I hope you guys are getting inside looks at a real family, a real dad with lots of kids, able to give you guys information on these cars and trucks and SUVs that'll help you make a educated decision on what you're gonna buy next. That's why I'm here. See you next time. All right, guys, inside the RS. What do you think? My first impression of the interior is that it's pretty boring. Lots of the same color materials everywhere. Not a whole lot of like stuff going on, and then you turn it on. You have your regular gauges. You have the RS logo up there to let you know what's going down. You see my miles per gallon up there, the real MPG. I rounded up to 25. And bam, there's that screen. And this screen is enormous. And it's in every Subaru now. But it's not a bad thing. I don't want to make it sound like it's a problem. It's really not. You know how I don't like having touch for everything? Well, they gave you a volume knob, they gave you your HVAC temperature, and they gave you the tuning all as dedicated buttons. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Subaru. But however, it is really easy to use. Once you get into the settings and you start seeing what's going on there, it's not terrible. It's not very hard. I like it. It works well. You get used to it after a while. Got your engine button there, your trip button up above that. Paddle shifters for a CVT transmission. I don't know why, but they're there. Volume. This is the stuff that toggles through the screen up there. And then you have your cruise control stuff on this side and your SI drive. I always set it on SI drive. It just makes it more sporty for sure. You can definitely tell a difference. Like I said before, it's a plain interior, but it definitely has a lot of little details, little design things everywhere that look good. The Harman Kardon sound system is phenomenal. Really nice seating. Back seating's all right. Up front here, you have your wireless charging. You have your plugs if you want to wire in. Wireless Q charging down there. automatic on this one. Your heated seats, your parking brake, and then you have some more charging capability there. I love this too. These things pop out so you can have a bigger cup holder, or you can, like, if you have a smaller cup, it'll actually just sit up a little bit higher. And then you have a huge middle console right there to store things in. There's my dad's coffee cup. But overall, not terrible, but not like super flashy either, and I think that's okay. Let's go. Back seat, same thing. Red stitching, plain black, different materials, but they're both black. Coming down here, static seat belts for the kiddos to easily get in and out of the vehicle. Then that center seat belt there has this, basically it's like a guider that guides the seat belt down for you. And I moved my seat back to where I would normally sit, and this is not bad space back. Around back, up underneath is the button. It's not power. You have to lift it up. And I put some stuff in here just for reference on size. I was able to put hockey bags in here for hockey this summer. I haven't put any golf clubs in there or anything like that, but it doesn't seem to be very small. You have a little light over here that you need at nighttime. And you have some cubby spaces for things. You have some tie down locations for stuff as well. It's overall not a terrible trunk by any sorts. And you have another little cubby hole underneath there if you want to hide some of this stuff. But not bad. Let's get on. All right, Yins, sitting inside the RS, got my paperwork, right? They didn't give me a Monroney per se, but they did give me some good information sheets. I'm trying to consolidate all that stuff for you guys, just so you know what's going on. 2024 Subaru Impreza RS. It's red. It's called pure red, not just red. It's called pure red, and I like it. It's good. It's a good color. This is considered a compact hatch. Hatchbacks and wagons are something that dads across America love. Dads across the globe love. People in general. Wagons are the thing that families need to get around, get decent mileage, and be able to carry all their stuff. And this little compact one is a lot of fun to drive, and it actually works really well. Under the hood is a 2.5 liter boxer engine making 182 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque, which is not terrible. It sounds like it's not a lot, and usually 200 horsepower is where I really draw the line as far as like what you need in a vehicle. But the 182 and the 178 definitely feel like they're enough power for sure. They rate this at 29 combined MPG. The CDB real MPG is 25. That's what I'm getting. That's around town. That's a little bit of highway driving. Set the cruise control when I'm on the highway, so it's not like I, beat on it too much. A couple of the differences for the 24 model year for the Impreza that are notable, at least: wireless CarPlay on the Impreza for the first time. There's a 10% stiffer chassis and a quieter cabin. Those two things are noticeable right off the bat. As soon as you start driving it, I knew there was something different about the feel of the car and the feel and the quietness of the cabin. It was definitely a little bit different than before. And that's why when I started reading the information, I see that. It's got the steering rack from the WRX, and it has a new refined exterior. So you have WRX steering capability, you have a quieter cabin, and you have a stiffer chassis. All of that stuff adds up to just a generally really nice small vehicle that's quiet and smooth. And that's kind of what you're looking for in something like this. Lastly, the MSRP on the RS is $31,045. I think that's what puts the nail in it, and that's what really makes it affordable and attractive. Let's get on the road and talk about it. All right, Chins, good and bad list. Getting out on the road. Gonna drive around a little bit and talk about this because there's not a lot of bad, okay? First off, the style and the refinement. Just the quietness of this cabin as you hear me talking to you is really good. The smoothness of the transmission, the smoothness of the suspension and the steering all comes together, and it's a very, very well-made little hatchback. The other thing on my list that I really like is the utility. I can throw stuff in the back. I can bring people with me. I took both my boys to hockey camp this week with all their hockey equipment in this vehicle and didn't have a whole lot of problem, doing that. The two little quibbles I have on the bad list. Number one, the LED turn signals in the front are great, but there's no LED turn signals in the back. And I don't know why car companies don't put LEDs all around the car and they still go back to the halogen bulbs in the rear taillights. But most companies do that, and I'm not sure why. The other thing is, and this is just a personal quibble, you can get remote start on the Subaru app to remote start your vehicle basically wherever you're at. But I want it back on the fob. I want it back on the keychain like the old days. I want to have the ability to walk to the door or to the window of my house and hit the button and turn the car on. I don't know why that's not happening anymore across the board, really. Like, a lot of companies have apps that they use for their remote starter, and it's not really on the key fob anymore. It is what it is. The other thing I do like about this is the SI drive. There's an S and an I button on your steering wheel, and it starts out in I when you turn the car on. When you flip it over to SI drive, it just increases everything a little bit, gives you a little more throttle response, gives us the transmission a note to like shift faster and get things done quicker, give you more power as soon as you need it. I'm gonna get on the highway here and we're gonna test that out. Getting on the highway, and it's so smooth. It's so smooth around these bends on the on-ramp, super smooth. It's just, the steering is very direct, very responsive, and you're gonna notice that as soon as you get in the vehicle. Here's that bump. It handles the bump really well. And then you throttle it. You can hear it. It's got goofy shift points because it's a CVT transmission. So the throttle mapping, there's no jerking around. And you're up to highway speeds on an uphill incline. 178 pounds of torque. It's not terrible. It gets you up to speed as fast as you need to. And then you can hold this speed on the highway. You just throw the cruise control on and it just stays where you're supposed to be. I'm a little bit partial, like I said before in previous videos. Subarus have been in my life since I was a kid, and they've always been reliable, and they've always been decent cars, and they've always been a good fail-safe. If you don't know what to buy, you get the Subaru because it's all-wheel drive and you live in Western PA. But thumbs up from Car Dad Bill. Real cars, real people, real life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.